In this video, I got a little comic haul to show off to you guys, and boy did I slide into home plate with one of these books. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggelhaus. And in this video, I got a little comic haul to show off to you guys. It's been a week of acquisition here at the Swaggelhaus residence, and I'm really excited about one book that I picked up because boy did I slide into home plate with this one. But before I show off the books with you guys, if you guys could drop me a like or a comment or subscribe if you're enjoying the content, help support the channel, do one of those things, and I would appreciate it. All right, that said, let us get into my little pile here. These are just a few books that I've picked up over the last, few days just visiting LCSs when I had some time. Not too many things here, but definitely some things that I'm very, very excited about. And a lot of them are Avengers books, which is exciting because I get to check more off my Avengers Grail Run. And then later in the video, actually, I did want to kind of pull up my CLZ with you guys because some of you out there have been asking about like what's my progress currently going on with the run. And so I want to kind of show you guys where I am at. But let's get into the fun stuff here. Let's go right away. And I guess I'll get the non-Avengers books for non-Avengers books out of the way first. So here we go. The very first one that I have to show off to you guys is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 12. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the first appearance of a character known as Camistro. Now, why do I care about Camistro? Why should you care about Camistro? Who cares about Camistro? Well, one of the reasons I like this villain is because he appeared in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That is right. So, again, I always say this to you guys. If you appear in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I want your first appearance. But, I think that he was actually pretty cool. I like his character design. And, Luke Cage overall has been a really big, speculation of, as far as a character that could be, making his way into the MCU. I mean, I feel like a lot of people actually liked the version that they did on the Netflix show. And Luke Cage is a character that is definitely loved within the community. And Camistro is one of his first villains. So why not, if we're bringing over his universe into the MCU, maybe we'll see the characters that, touch him in his various comic books. And this one right here, Luke Cage number 12, first appearance of Camistro, I feel like I had to get it. It was super cheap. I think I got it for like $10. And this is a super, super clean copy. I mean, this feels like if not a VF, if not a near mint, definitely at least a VF. So very excited to have this one. And as for being a white comic book, it's always hard to find those perfect white comic books because they get dirty and they get spine ticks and all that sort of thing. All right, next one here I got is also a very, very cool one. This is my second time acquiring this book. This is Daredevil 132, second appearance of Bullseye. I now have two copies of this. I definitely would love to get the first appearance of Bullseye. I think that he's an interesting character, one that I feel like is a huge fan favorite, and one that I feel like people aren't really talking about too much overall, kind of in the spec market. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of conversation around Daredevil, but you can't do Daredevil without Elektra, Kingpin, and I'd throw Bullseye in there as well. All right, let's get into the big book that I picked up in this video here, the one that I am super, super lucky that I slid into home plate with this one. And you guys already know what it is, right? This is Avengers number 10, first appearance of Immortus. Now, this is a book that it's a little bit of a cheat on my Grail Run. Why? Because, I set rules for myself about, how I wanted to acquire certain books or what I wanted to acquire. One, I said that I wasn't going to buy them off eBay. And then two, I said that I wanted them to typically be raw. And then three, I think I said I wanted them to at least be around the 3 or 4. Well, this book is probably, I guess you're probably going to call this a 0.5 because there's a few big flaws with this book. One, the staple at the top totally detached. I mean, this thing is hanging on by a thread on this bottom staple. And then two, there's actually an ad page that was ripped out of this book. So this is a qualified book. The first Avengers book that I'm going to have that is technically qualified. But I was in an LCS. I was diving through those back bins. They had some Silver Age stuff there. And this was being sold for $40. So even at a 0.5 raw grade, picking this book up for $40, I felt like was a total steal. And, it's funny because I think I got this book on probably Monday or Tuesday. And, and then, the show came out and minor spoilers, if in case you guys haven't watched Loki, we got effectively Immortus. We didn't get Immortus in name, but effectively we got Immortus. And this is a book that I feel like you cannot find this book for less than, $200 right now. Even like on the ones that are listed at like 0.5 grades or cover completely detached or whatever, this book is still absolutely exploding right now. And I don't feel like this one is going to cool off anytime soon, even if it is that we're just going to get Kang into, the MCU and we're not necessarily going to revisit that version of himself, the Immortus version of himself. I feel like this is still a book that is a big one to check off my list. I mean, top 10 Avengers, that alone right there is a huge pickup. So very excited to have this one. In the Mylar bag, it presents great, looks great. I don't really care that the ad page is cut out. So I think for my Grail Run for now, this one is okay. And then, if I ever come across a higher grade version of this, then I'll just end up selling this one and have it offset the costs of the better one that I pick up eventually. So very excited to get that one in the collection. All right, let's go now through a bunch of other Avengers books here. We'll just kind of rapid fire these guys, but these are a bunch of Avengers pickups. So next up here, I got Avengers number 22. I don't think there's any significance to this, but this is one that I've actually seen this one a couple times, but I've just kind of passed by it thinking like, oh, I'll just get it some other time. But the reason I picked it up this time around when I saw it is because since it had Enchantress on the cover, I was thinking like, oh, all these like Enchantress type books or books that feature this character or whatever are starting to like heat up, even though we're not actually getting the true version of Enchantress Amora. I just felt like, hey, you know what? Let me just snag this thing because, if they ever decide, like, who knows? Like maybe now that the multiverse is destroyed and she might turn into Amora. Like, who knows what the MCU is going to do with her overall and her character. So this is where I felt like, hey, let me just start snagging these Avengers books that have Amora on the cover. So definitely wanted to pick that one up. All right, next one here I got is Avengers number 56. Cool Captain America cover. This is actually the origin of Captain America retold. So very cool to pick this one up. And I believe, this would be his first origin within the Silver Age. So that's kind of a cool book for that reason. All right, next one here I got is Avengers number 61. Super trippy cover. I really like this one. I don't know if there's any significance to this. I think I read somewhere that this is like the first appearance of the Quinjet or something random like that. So let me know in the comments if you guys happen to know anything cool about this book. But this is one that I snagged. And again, these are all books that I got for like, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9. These are like, I always pick up these filler books as cheap as I can possibly find them. Next one here, I got Avengers number 64. First appearance of Trickshot, who is the brother of Clint Barton. I believe his name is Barney Barton. So this is kind of a cool one too, because this is technically kind of a filler run right here. But who knows? Maybe when we get the Hawkeye show later in the year, they might introduce Trickshot into the whole universe. I mean, we feel like they're going to get the Swordsman. So maybe they're going to build out that sort of like Hawkeye universe and background. And then the last book I got here is Avengers number 90. I don't believe that there's any significance to this. This is just kind of a cool cover. I've always really liked this one, like the yellow palette. And I believe this is like the Kree-Skrull War, a part of the Kree-Skrull War storyline. Oh, that was a bit of a tongue twister. All right, well, those were my pickups. Of course, Avengers number 10, very excited to get that one. But a lot of you guys have been asking about, what's the current progress with my Avengers Grail Run? Well, I wanted to kind of show you guys where I'm at, just give you kind of a quick overview, and then talk about some of the other books that I'm really looking for overall. But let's get into this here. I got my CLZ pulled up, so let's take a look at the progress. In case you guys haven't seen it, this is the desktop version of CLZ. I'm not really sure why these pictures are not... They're so pixelated here, but this will give us a quick overview of my Avengers collection. Of course, I only update my CLZ with just my main books, specifically that of Avengers, so I can keep track of it. But I don't know. I don't know how people have the patience to upload every single comic that they have in their collection. I feel like it just takes so much time. So you can see right here, Avengers Volume 1, I currently have 42 books. So I'm 42 of 100, but I'm doing pretty good because of these 42, I feel like I have a lot of the big ones. A lot of these ones that I still need in the collection, a lot of them are fillers. So I think it's totally doable. So let's take a look here. This is in a numerical order. So of course I got the Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Avengers 4, I got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So of the top 10 books right here, I'm only missing 2, which I think is actually pretty good because I feel like some of those top 10 books overall are like some of the hardest to come by. And then you can see here, I got some cool ones. I'll just kind of scroll through. You guys can kind of take a look and see if you're very curious to see which books I have. But, I've always shown them off in my various haul videos and everything. But let's go over here to the wish list, because these are the books that I've been, specifically eyeing as like, here are the books that I think are still the biggest ones I need to acquire to complete this Grail Run. Of course, I mentioned in the top 10, still looking to get my hands on, can I make this bigger? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Avengers number 3, right? This is still a top 5 Avengers book. One that I don't think that this has any, special significance, but another one kind of like Avengers number 2. Always sort of hard to find this one, always hard to come by. So Avengers number 3, this is one of those books that I feel like when I go to this comic show, I'm going to see this book. And if there is a good price for this, I will pick it up. So that one is very cool. Again, also this one, top 5, Avengers number 5, first appearance of the Lava Men. Another book that I feel like, if I see this at the show for the right price, I will definitely swoop it up. So these are 2 ones that I think are very cool, vintage ones that I would love to grab. Other ones to point out here, this one's interesting. This is actually the second appearance of Kang the Conqueror, and that kind of makes it, interesting in this current climate right now. It's also a Spider-Man crossover into the Avengers title. The first time I think Spider-Man is with the Avengers. So for that reason, even though this isn't like a major key, I feel like this is one that is really going to start to shoot up, and it's going to be harder to get at a cheap price, as the weeks go on and the months go on and Kang becomes more involved in the storyline. So one that I definitely have my eye on, but one that I will also allow to go to the moon and get out of hand, because I can only focus on certain books, right? So like this one is like, if it continues to go up, fine, it'll be the one that I finish my collection with. Next up here, this one is interesting. This is the first appearance of the Collector, Avengers number 28. Definitely an interesting book because obviously Benicio del Toro plays the Collector in the MCU. I feel like we're going to get the Collector back into the MCU. And when we get these character announcements that they're coming back to the MCU, that's when these books absolutely shoot up. And this is one that I've actually seen this book quite a lot in person. I've probably seen, 7 copies in LCSs over the months and year or so, but all of them have been listed for way higher than I feel like I wanted to pay. Certainly higher than eBay prices. So I feel like, hey, if you're at LCS and you can't beat eBay prices, I'm not going to pick up your book. Next up here, of course, we know Black Knight. This is going to be a hard one. This is of all the books on this list right here, this is going to be the hardest one to pick up, simply because this is the hottest Spec book right now. It's not even a Spec book. We all know that Kit Harington is going to show up and be the Black Knight in the MCU at some point. So I don't know when I'm going to get this book. Again, it all comes down to, if the book finds me at a good deal, I will pick it up. This is a cool one here. This is Avengers versus X-Men. Just one of those books that I feel like, anytime you put these 2 teams together, nice, cool cover. People are always going to charge a premium on this. Kind of like, anytime there's like a number 100 issue in a run, I feel like it's sort of like a milestone, just a classic cover. So I feel like this is one I should keep an eye out for. This, of course, Avengers number 55, first appearance of Ultron, first full appearance of Ultron. This is actually a book that I think is extremely undervalued overall. And I'm worried that eventually the market's going to catch up to this one and start to charge prices that Ultron as a villain deserves. Granted, he's not on the cover here. I think that hurts him. I did check this out on Marvel Unlimited. He kind of has like a few panels in here, but like it's not an incredible first appearance. It's not the best first appearance you've ever seen in your life. So this is one that I feel like it might be undervalued for a good reason, but one that I think is definitely undervalued in the market. Okay, last couple books, Avengers 57, first appearance of Vision, of course. What do you got to say about this? This one obviously got super hot off the heels of WandaVision, but actually one that I would say that, I've been spending a lot of time compiling, some Excel sheet data about values of books and looking at them side by side and stack ranking them by, tier of character. And even though this book is extremely hot and has gotten extremely hot recently, off the heels of WandaVision, I actually still think this book is undervalued when you compare it to its comparables. And knowing how important Vision is to the MCU, how much he is a beloved character. This is one I do think that actually still is undervalued overall. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Another Vision cover here. Just a cool one. Then the next one, second appearance for him. And then of course, we got Yellow Jacket. This is one that, when we get Ant-Man 3 and we get Yellow Jacket in the MCU, or back into the MCU, even though this is the Hank Pym version, this will be one that I could definitely tell will shoot up. Similarly to here in Baku, when we get Black Panther 2, this will be one that gets super hot. And then probably this one here too. I talked about this in the Black Panther Key Comic Spotlight video. This is Avengers 87, Origin of T'Challa, another key book that I think would be great to get my hands on. So these are the ones that I'm targeting right here. These are the ones that hopefully you're going to see me in a next comic book haul type video, or after I go to the show, I'm going to find one of those books and be able to show it off to you guys here. But yeah, that is all I have for this video. Again, this is the crown jewel of this comic book haul right here is Avengers number 10, first appearance of Immortus. Super happy I picked this one up, even though it's technically a qualified book. Probably, I guess what would this really be? This is probably a 3.0 qualified grade. No, 2.5 qualified grade. That's probably what this would be. So 2.5 with a green label, Avengers 10, first appearance of Immortus. But hey, that's all right. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you in the next one.